Hi, this is Steve Hart. I'm going to give you sort of a wrap up on one of our coffee talks we just had recently. Last week we had two people show up at one of our coffee talks, and ironically, both of them were telling us that they were going to be leaving their jobs that they'd had for many years. And why? Well, they they really couldn't explain in great detail as to why they're leaving their jobs. It had nothing to do with money. It had more to do with the way they felt. Uh, they didn't feel like the work was fulfilling enough anymore, and there didn't seem to be a sense of purpose in what it is that they were doing, and they felt it was time for them to move on. When I talked with them, I spent some special time with each one of them, trying to help them to understand what was going on. What we often don't realize is that all of us have within us a mission or a purpose or a calling upon our lives, which has been dictated to us by our higher selves, by our spirit being. And I'm assuming that you understand that. If you don't, then this video is not going to make much sense to you. But there is within us in a program into our soul when we come into this world for us to serve a particular purpose. And most most of us end up getting jobs, thinking that that will sustain us for our survival. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there will come a time when you may begin to sense that it's time to move on. It's time to have a new experience. It's a time to actually connect to your higher self, to your soul's purpose. And that's what I'm referring to. I myself have been one of the lucky ones. I discovered what my soul's purpose was when I was very young. And I was very discouraged by people that I had to get a real job and couldn't pursue my desires and my career that I wanted to pursue. And I did that for a period of time. And then all of a sudden the opportunity came for me to actually leave the jobs that I had been working in and pursue a different kind of work, the work that I had within my heart that I really wanted to do. And there was a lot of doubt and there was a lot of confusion, and people still couldn't believe that I was doing what I was doing. But when I made that leap, within a short amount of time, I was able to establish myself in my career, and it was one of those. It's that type of job where every morning I get up, I'm excited for the next opportunity for what I'm about to do in that day. And my job, my work also gives me the freedom to do whatever it is I desire to do. It gives me the freedom to be able to ask, what is mine to do today, and to fulfill that, and have that satisfaction in knowing I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, instead of working for someone else in a job situation. Now, I'm not putting down having a job, because jobs are important to have if that's where you're at in your understanding. But these two people had announced to us that they were going to leave their jobs. I was telling them how courageous they were to be able to do so, because it takes a great deal of courage, because what it means is you're taking now responsibility for yourself, that you're actually beginning to understand that you're not just going to take any job out there. You're going to find work that has meaning to you. And if you notice in my vocabulary, we quite often we have the job, the job, and then there's work. I think everybody has work to do. Not everybody has to have a job. My work is not my job. I don't work for someone else. I work for myself, and then naturally I'm subcontracted to work other people. But it's all based upon my choice and my direction. And that's very difficult. Not everybody is probably programmed to be able to do that, but when you let go of some of those programs that we brought with us into the world, or we've been programmed by in our younger years by the world itself to believe, we can let go of those programs and actually begin to initiate direction and guidance from our higher self, from spirit. Okay? All right. Well, what I wanted to tell you is the one person that of the two that shared with us last week came back this week after making the announcement to their boss that they were leaving, and now they were in a state of confusion. They felt as though that they had made a mistake because the security that they had from that job was no longer going to be there for them, and there was almost a point of panic, because this person now didn't have to report into work, didn't have to get up and do the regular routine that they had been doing, and they found themselves in a disarray as to what it is they were supposed to be doing, and then begin to question themselves. And that's understandable. When you move out of the normal everyday workforce and step into this new awareness, it can be very disturbing. If you remember in the movie The Matrix, when Neo was brought out of the Matrix and Morpheus was trying to help him understand what the Matrix was, Neo had a reaction and said, no, this can't be. I can't believe this, almost to the point where he wanted to go back. And I understand this. I totally understand it, because change like this is dramatic. So we spent some time with this person who had come back and was rather confused. And the questions were asked, what is your purpose? And obviously the person did not know. And I went back to the understanding that the purpose that we are given is revealed to us through our gifts, strengths, and talents, and through our awareness of who we are. Because when you know who you are, you're now empowered to fulfill and do what it is that you're purposed to do. When you know that you have a natural gift, and the world tells you that that gift doesn't mean anything, and yet your spirit tells you that this is a gift that you need to give of yourself, there's obviously a conflict here. And you have to learn to begin to initiate what that gift is and capitalize upon that strength before you begin to see how beautiful and how wonderful this all can unfold. The way it's an experience. Now, we were not able to give this person the big picture of what it is that it was theirs to do. All I'm able to do, and I share with people my skills in life coaching, are pieces of the puzzle. Now, I have these tools that I use, for example, the Enneagram, and then there's the Myers-Briggs, and then there's the VAC system, and then there's this book I have on numerology. I'm going to be honest with you, we looked into this book right here by Dan McMillan, and that book has, to me, has some really powerful information to pass on. I've never been a big fan of numerology for various reasons, and we talked a little bit about that, but the information in this book has been proven to be pretty powerful. So I was able to share with this person some of the insight that was given from this book about them, and they begin to find more ease and more confidence in themselves. Because when you understand who you are, it's like, you look at yourself and through the eyes of the world, and quite often we feel like failures. But when you look in the mirror of your true self, meaning the reflection of what's within you, when you begin to look within, then you begin to really see who you really are, and you see the value that's been entrusted in you. Your gifts, strengths, and talents, and the purpose in your life is extremely powerful. And once you understand what that is, then things begin to open up. The universe changes. The universe is actually working in your favor to help you come into this awareness That's what these people were experiencing. So anyway, I wanted to share with you, I thought it was interesting when the second person came back and said, oh my gosh, I've made a mistake. And which is really normal. It's natural, for us to question ourselves. There's nothing wrong with questioning ourselves as long as we find the answers. And so this person was able to hopefully leave and feel as though that they had begun a journey of their own self-discovery, and to know what that is that's hidden within inside them. And I hope you can do the same thing too. I was certified as a life coach back in 2002, I think it was. And throughout the years, I've found these tools, and I've been able to help people, numerous people, in making transitions in their lives, and in particular in their jobs. I don't have the answer. I don't know what your work is, but I know how to help bring out of you, from within you, the possibilities. And the possibilities are enormous. Only you will know what this work is that you're to do. So I'm here and able to help you put some of the pieces of the puzzle on the table, and to help you start putting it together. And that's what we do at Coffee Talk. That's what Coffee Talk is about. And we do this spiritual self-discovery discussions, and I exercise the tools that I mentioned earlier. So I hope that if you're in this transition period, contact me. But be aware, as you make these changes, it's not going to be easy. It may cause a great deal of emotional turmoil, and but the universe is on your side, and I'm here to help give you that support. So God bless you. Namaste. Bye-bye.